sir.
Brandon, that's you. Keith, I'll start with you. Hot shooting tonight, second game in a few, where that's been the case. And Tyler has talked about like just his confidence in you, and like even in times when you weren't hitting as much, he just knows that it's going to come. What has he meant to you this season?
I mean, I think for me as a player, it's been really great to have a coach who's really transparent and willing to have those conversations and kind of look at stats with you and kind of go through a lot of like, this is how you can get good shots. And his confidence in me has meant a ton for me, obviously, as a player going out there. And there are days as a shooter where you're not going to have a great day, but he still sticks with me, and I appreciate that.
You guys, Greg Moore, Arizona Republic. I'm thinking about the story from a couple of days ago about the W set attendance records for the whole season. And the crowd here is like it's a major part of the organization, it's part of the city. I just want to know what it's like to play against these guys here, and can you maybe compare the crowd here to some of the others that you faced, throughout the league?
I can say it's a healthy basketball environment. These are just straight basketball fans. You don't hear negativity. I mean, obviously fans are going to be fans as far as they want to cheer for their own team. But I mean, for me, I feel the love here. They always ask me some of the places that I love playing at. Phoenix is always one of them. New York is another one. When there's just straight up basketball fans that know basketball, that love basketball and nothing else. They don't care about what your mama look like, none of that. Like they just care straight up about basketball. And that's what you want here. You want a healthy environment, especially the players that have been here for a while, like Keo or an AT or a Kai that have been around this game. These are the flowers that they deserve. As a young player, you may be coming to see me, but you also become a fan of Kia. Kia has a great night tonight. It's Kai's birthday. Kai has a great game tonight. So just being able to have a positive environment for basketball players, I think is really, really important. And I think Phoenix has done a great job with that.
Angel, you're having another amazing season. When you look at the players, the veterans on the team, and you also look at the rest of the league, how do you compare where you're at when you first started in the league versus where you are now? What are you still learning as the season progresses?
Yeah, for me, just continuing to give myself grace. I didn't have a great start this game, but just continue to go through and push through and work. I get so frustrated with myself because I know how hard I work, and it's just frustrating. But I try to make it up on other ends. I think tonight, for me, was the focal point of not letting AT get a double-double or triple-double. And I don't think she got that tonight. So knowing she is the engine of this team, she's MVP contenders. She's definitely should be up there, and her respect is there. And I've always given her that. But just continuing to just give myself grace, like I said, and just knowing like I'm here for a reason, and just being where my feet are.
Kia, it seems like you're in a similar role, in a similar situation than you were when you were in Seattle. Can you talk about the similarities between those two roles and also those 2 seasons playing on a team that shows that they're better than their record?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you continue to go out, we don't ever, as players, take for granted the ability to be able to play in this league and to come out and, whether the games are playoff meeting games or you're out of the playoffs, every opportunity you have to get on the WNBA floor, you can't take it for granted because they're so short-lived for a lot of people. And so I'm grateful to be in a role where I can continue to help with these young guys and help them, just be a vet. But a lot of what I do is being a pro's pro is like the biggest compliment you can give me. And that's what I hold myself to a very high standard of. And so every single day coming in, trying to make sure that I do all the little things really well, and just go out there and bring energy, scream a little bit, get people going, annoy some people on defense. That's usually my role throughout the league. So I try to hang on to that.
Question for you, David. You guys got out to a really good start in the first quarter. You're up 14-6. What did you like there defensively, and what kind of got away from you in the second quarter?
I think sometimes we get a little comfortable. We're not a lot of times used to being up, starting out the game. And I just said, even when we got the first time out, I was like, that's a great start. Like, we have to continue to do that. And I think we've competed with the best teams. I mean, we beat the top team. We beat 2 of the top teams that are in this league. So knowing that, like, just being able to compete, like every single possession, good teams, they don't lay down. Like, this is a good team. This is a playoff team, and this is where we really want to be. So we can't lay down. We can't get comfortable no matter what. Like, yeah, we're up. I think we were at 1 point 17-8. Like, we got comfortable. I can say that we got comfortable. When you get comfortable with a good team, they'll bust your ass.
What did you guys think were like the deciding plays or sequences in the fourth quarter?
I think the deciding plays were in the second. Our fourth quarter wasn't bad. Like, if you look at the box score, the third quarter, 25-24 and 24-22, like those are 8 to 20 is where you kind of lose it a little bit, right? And I think some of it was our turnovers in that second quarter. And this is a team that does a really good job of getting out with live ball turnovers, getting out and turn those into points. And so it's been a point of contention for us as a team for a lot of the games this season, turnovers, and needing to be better at that. But I think down the stretch, for the last couple of games that we've had to play close games down the stretch, our execution's been pretty good and our defense has been pretty good. And so it never comes down to one or two plays in that fourth quarter, really, if you have a quarter like the second for us.
Got time for a couple more. Anyone else has one? Awesome. Thanks. Tyler Venus.
Thanks, you guys.
Coach, I had a question about the indie game sequence. I think you guys were down, plus Angel had the and one opportunity. In that moment, was that a decision to have her miss, or just what was the thinking there in that scenario?
No, she asked if we wanted her to miss. I told her to make it. It would have only been a 1 or 2 point game. It'd been a one possession game anyway. So no, she just missed the free throw. It happens. So no.
Coach, you talked about how it can be tougher offensively if Ariel's not like scoring a ton, but tonight you got like Kia going and some others going. So I guess you talk about just kind of others picking up the slack.
Yeah, tonight was about turnovers again. We turned the ball over too much. We shot it well. We rebounded well. We defended the 3-point line well, numbers wise. I think we guarded AT about as well as you can guard her for most of the game. So the defensive game plan was pretty good. I thought it came down to the second quarter for the most part. It's tough to win against a really good team with an 8-point second quarter. We won the first, won the third, won the fourth. So turnovers continue to haunt us, and that was the key of the game today.
Speaking of AT, I thought Angel did a really good job of limiting her. What did you just kind of see specifically in that matchup that you thought like kind of went into this?
I mean, Angel's active. She's active with her hands. She's active on the ball. She can be disruptive, and obviously Kai got loose a few times. But I think overall, defense is hard to hold this team down, and so. But I think again overall, we didn't maximize our opportunities on the offensive end with the way that we turned the ball over, especially in the first half.
Coach, Angel talked about staying competitive with teams like this who are in that top tier of teams in the league. Can you talk about what it's meant, or can you talk about how it feels to see this young group kind of be competitive with some of the top teams in the league like this?
Yeah, I think you gotta look at the glass half full type of thing. It's the last several games, whether it's been Seattle or Vegas or New York or in Phoenix, and even a tough Connecticut team. It's like we've been in all these games, and it's frustrating the games that we haven't pulled it out. So there's a sense of like, yeah, we know we can compete, but at the same time, there's a frustration in the locker room, obviously, of not pulling them out, and so of being so close and not coming out on the other side of it. So, but we know what our capabilities are, what our potential is. We're going to keep fighting through the rest of the season. We got a tough one on Saturday, but we'll be ready for it.
I asked the players about just that really hot start you guys got off to. I believe you guys were up 14-6 time that came, but defensively you guys did a really good job. I thought just limited it. But what did you think kind of went into that in the second quarter there defensively, just to kind of get them back into the game?
I think it was again. I think that sometimes the offense affects your defense. Sometimes your defense affects your offense. It's tough to score sometimes when you're trading baskets or when you're giving up so many on the defensive end. And then sometimes it's tough to get stops when you're not scoring. And so tonight, I thought it was in that second quarter, I thought it was a matter of us not turning the ball over kind of affected us on the defensive end as well. I think that when they had to go against our half-court defense, for the most part, we were pretty successful. We fouled them maybe a little too much at times, but I think overall, I think tonight it came down to our inability to take care of the ball for a good portion of that game.
Yeah. What did you think was one of the reasons why Natasha Mack was just able to be an X factor for the Mercury tonight?
Her activity. She got some pretty big offensive rebounds for him. I think that we switched a little bit more tonight than we have in the past, and that was part of the game plan. And when you do that, you got to be able to cover on the backside. And so sometimes you're a little undersized when it comes to boxing her out, and so it takes multiple bodies at times. And she was able to get loose and keep possessions alive for them. And I thought she played really well for them today.
The players thought that execution down the stretch was good today, like in the fourth quarter. Did you also feel that?
Yeah, I thought so. I thought we were pretty intentional on where we wanted to go and who we wanted to go to. Angel made a couple of big buckets. Mill made a couple of big buckets. Kia made a couple of big buckets, and I thought that we did a decent job of taking care of the ball down the stretch. It was just, again, over the course of the game, some of those possessions come back to haunt you in a tight game like tonight.
Time for a couple more.
Kia, we asked her earlier just about just how you basically have kind of stayed the course with her and just had instilled that confidence. Just for you, what does that give to the team, to seeing someone kind of working through the ups and downs of a tough season and then having performances like she's had down the stretch here?
Yeah, I don't care how many years you've been in this league. It's discouraging when at times when you go through shooting slumps and when you're aware when you're not playing that great. And sometimes you don't just need to continue to hear that you're not playing well. Sometimes you need to hear that it's going to be all right and that you're still supported. And for me, I just keep coaching her, and we keep coaching her, and our teammates keep believing in her. And I think that that allows her to stay confident in herself. I think that she's been able to fight through a lot of adversity this year, like the most of our team. And some nights has been her night, and some nights it hasn't. Tonight it has been or was, and it's a credit to her for staying the course. And I think that sometimes that we forget the human element of some of these players. And if you continue to beat them down with what they aren't doing well, they forget what they can do well and what they have been doing well for the majority of her career. And so Key has been good for us all year in terms of her work ethic, her professionalism, the effort that she gives night in and night out. There's no replacing that. And so I continue to be proud of Key.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Coach.